Right, sorry, we're back. My lovely, let's just shut that way. My lovely neighbour popped round with a little bit of Christmas cheer, and we had to go and receive him. So yeah, we're back. I do apologise about that. I'm going to be talking about these bits and bobs very shortly, about the ecclesiastical deed poll and your evidence of life forms and what you can and what you can't do with them. All right. My mission is to help people come out of Egypt from the house of bondage, I guess, really, which we all seem to be in. I do apologise about having to leave you there a second, but we're back. We're back now. Back to pull the curtains, stop the sunlight blaring in. I do love these curtains, actually. It's very warm of a night time when I've got my log burner on. It's quite chilly, isn't it? Hope you're all tucked up warm. Keeping yourself funky fresh. So, yeah, I'm just going to wait for the audience to build up, and I'm going to be going through these couple of documents that will help you guys immensely in this devilish system that we live in, and that's what we're here for. We're just here to bring you back into the land of the living. How's about that? All right. There's so many things that go on in life, and I'm someone that's paid attention. That's all. Just someone that's like often thought, well, that ain't right. Why does that go on? Why do these things get going? Are those log burners hard to fit, bro? No. I got this from eBay. This pretty, and it took about 3 weeks to turn up. It come from Bulgaria, Uncle Bulgaria. It's made in Bulgaria, and it come into the country, and we've got it. I just had some slate slabs, so I put it on my slate slabs, and certain distance off the wall. Just check your clearances, and I've got a bit of vitreous flue, which goes into a twin wall insulated flue liner. Because whenever you go up through roofs, you have to go through. You have to use twin wall. You can't use single wall. It'd be very dangerous if you use single wall for house fires, etc. You have to be careful with log burners. I mean, every 6 to 8 weeks, I disconnect it up on the roof, and I'll give it a good brush out and get rid of all the bits of carbon that's built up inside the liner. But it's sweet. It's not actually. Might as well have a quick go through that actually once we're chatting. So this is the pretty. Okay, this I'm going to light it in a minute. Stove fans. That's from what's left over from last night. So it's on. It's on a bed of slabs, just 4 slate tiles, and it's quite funny actually. When it gets up to temperature, the amount of radiant heat that goes down through them slabs and actually comes through the floor. It's pretty good, and the walls get very, very warm. In truth, I should get some metal just on them walls to deflect the heat. So there we go up into a bit of vitreous. This is a bit of vitreous flue liner with a temperature stove. You gave yourself. And then obviously it comes up into twin wall. This is a twin wall, and this has to be 500 mil down. Shut up! Hey, get down. Sorry about that. 500 mil down from the seat. Can't leave it alone, can it? 500 mil down from the ceiling to stop that. But this is single skin, and that's double wall. That's expensive stuff. But I've got the flue online. I found someone on eBay that was selling me that, and I don't know if you can see the top of it out there. There you go. You can see. Can you see the top of it? Yeah, I lost you. You can see that's the top of the flue outside. So yeah, it goes up through the roof with a weather flash in and stuff like that. I tell you what, that heat from that burner goes all the way through the house. It goes upstairs. I don't know how it does it. It's like a miracle. It's unbelievable. And once I light it for the first like when I light it, probably in a couple of hours' time, and it is chilly out this morning. It don't take long for it to warm up. It's very, very, very good. Mine's an old house. It was always an open fire. That had been bricked up. I knocked it back up. Yes, aren't you, Mandy? Log burners are really good. And next year, what I'm planning to do is a buddy that I do a lot of work with is to find a local place we can go to where you can coppice your own firewood with some chainsaws and cut a tree down and chop it up. I'm looking into that. I'm looking into finding a place not too far from me where I can actually go and cut trees down and burn them myself. But then again, I'm working on another thing with an off-grid generator, which don't use fossil fuels to run. So I should be set up for that early spring. So I should be producing all my own power. And if I am doing that, which I will be doing, I won't be using fossil fuels. I'll just plug in some little electric heaters. Plumber heat exchanger coil into it, I could do, but my hot water cylinder is pressurized, and that'd be very dangerous. And it is right up in the loft space because it's a mains fed one. So it's about 5,000 miles away from that log burner. Right, let's get back to the ecclesiastical deed poll. All right, let's get back to how you get out of Babylon. Right. Now, I'm going to show you these bits now, but the actual process of how to do it, I'm going to do that with you privately. So what you need to do is find me on Facebook, all right? Private message me on Facebook, and I will talk you through the procedure, because I'm going to show you these documents, but I'm going to have to give you the process of how to do it privately. I'm not going to put that out publicly. So this is a thing called an ecclesiastical deed poll, all right? And it says, we, divine immortal spirit, expressed in trust to the living flesh, known as David Paul of the family Witcher, hereby give life to this sacred irrevocable deed through our seal in blood and agreement to the conveyance and terms pronounced herein. Number one, whilst we have expressed in trust our real properties, and while no consent given nor protest otherwise made that such conveyance is unlawful, we bring attention to our mistakes of facts by failing notice of our competent living status. And number two, as our actions and this instrument made our statuses clear and temporary testamentary, trust SKV derivative, therefore, formed upon such errors of presumption as an abandoned loss. So the SKV is working on a presumption that we're abandoned, all right? But clearly we're not. We are in God's kingdom. Death or incompetency must be immediately dissolved, including a full account provided to us without delay. And number three, to ensure no further mistakes are made by any party, we give further notice that all acts in commerce or law we engage in the surety of our trust and kindly ask you to update your records. And number four, furthermore, we gratefully decline any offers of benefits from any and all estates which you and your colleagues administrate. As a result, any charges sent to us by mistake will be duly returned to you for discharge in accordance with the law. And number five, as we have given proper notice that we have caused no further injury, you acknowledge that no further demands, debts or actions shall be issued against us in claiming injury, as surety to the property that you administer. And number six, receipt of this deed poll is acknowledgement and acceptance. So that's the ecclesiastical deed poll. All right, you will find that online. Now this one, which you will find online, is an evidence of life form. Okay, it's a form 206, and I can send you all the details of how to fill it out. Now what you need down here is ideally your doctor or a doctor just to witness, which I need to do, or a solicitor for a commissioner for oaths just to witness this bit that you're filling out here. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep these two things safe, and then in the future I'm going to show you privately how to implement that into their system. Okay. Morning, Dave. Late arrival, so taking it from the top. Please, no talk of the Queen, mate. God bless you. Yeah, no. Queen Elizabeth II, I'm afraid, has negated her position as God's ambassador to administer his estate properly. Because if you honestly believe that Queen Elizabeth's role as keeper of the faith is to allow her private men and women in uniform to come bashing us and to nick our property, nick our children, you are so mistaken. That is not godly. And for that, Queen Elizabeth II has negated her role as keeper of the faith, as far as I'm concerned, and keeper of God's kingdom. And it's as simple as that. As you know, I do read scripture a lot, and certainly trust me, because the Queen swore to keep this. The Queen swore to keep this safe. Now, what she didn't swear was to turn a blind eye, because what she's doing, she's turned a blind eye and allowed the monsters in government to get hold of us and to ruin us. And they do it in such a sophisticated way, and they never admit liability for their errors in law. They never ever admit liability. Because why do they never admit liability? Because they're arrogant, rude, obnoxious, violent, narcissistical individuals. That's the reason. Jesus Christ walking on water symbolizes human standing over the maritime law. Absolutely right. Heard opportunity. Lovely to see you, mate. Debbie Starr, how are you, darling? Lauren Pacey signed the top, null and void. Yeah, she that we placed our faith into her. They said, do you accept Elizabeth as your queen? And we said, yes, we do. We can remove that if we so wish. As a people, we certainly can. Have a listen to her coronation speech. If you know the words mean legally, it's interesting. Yes, Del Boy, bang on, mate. She's negated her position. And it's a very sad state of affairs that they turn a blind eye to the amount of levels of violence and deception that the government play upon us. And she clearly says, my government. She clearly says, my government. So she takes responsibility for all of them ministers, because it's the Queen in Parliament. I don't care what she gave up. The idea of monarchy has fuck all to do with God. Absolutely right. Heard opportunity. It doesn't have anything to do with God. But she swore to keep the lively oracles, didn't she? She swore. She said that this is the most precious thing the world has been afforded. That's what she said. So I figured, if Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth swore that this is the most precious thing, there must be something in it. And why? Oh, why? We're all demonized from this word. Beautiful, isn't it? Gold bound pages. We're demonized from it because it's protection, because God gave you dominion. God granted you your life because he breathed life in through your nostrils. And these judges should only be administrating from the word. And it quite clearly gives in here what the judges should be doing. And the judges clearly are not judges, as this book says, because they have to have wisdom, they have to have spirit, they have to be godly. Well, do you think taking children on presumptions and hearsay is godly? You are mistaken. Did you see the tweet about kids between Tunbridge Wells and Chipley Norton under 6 being taken from December the 28th to ferries in Portsmouth because of a super strain? Oh no. Crown and anchor. Through the crown, the heavens are anchored to the earth. Absolutely right. Stevie J. Sleep, it is lovely to see you this morning, brother. So it's more than sad, says Kenneth Noel Curran, when children suffer because the ignorance, stupidity, arrogance and greed of perfidious mindset, CO number 10 in the square mile. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that social services get up to when you're getting involved in stealing kids and plotting to steal children. Not just stealing, plotting against parents. When you go with a mindset that you're supposed to be worthier than now, you're supposed to be coming in God's kingdom, and you go to a property and your mindset and your governors have told you, whatever you do, you must find a way of removing them children. And we know that social services go and, by the way, if you ever have social services come to your house, record everything, right? Tell them you're going to record it. Write to them, say, oh, you want to come here and have a chat with me? Fine. We're going to record it all. My own court of record. I'm convening my own court of record. Just so I'm convening my own court of record, it will all be recorded. They will change their tune. Trust me, they do not like it on the record. However, when they turn up, their sole ambition generally is to remove that child. Why? Because the children are the new gold. They're profitable. So sad, man. Queen abdicated, Pope officially stepped down after Christmas. I'm hearing that. Did Her Majesty not sign her oath at the top of the paper instead of the bottom? Yeah, she oversigned it. But she's not honouring it. If you live by the word of God, you have to honour it. And a lot of people say she does because she stays quiet, blah, blah, blah. No, her government are administrating this country not to this book. All right. They're violent people. She's turned a blind eye. She's letting them get on with it. They're bashing us over the head with truncheons. Where in here does it say that they're allowed to do that? Where does it say? Our Lord, spiritual and temporal, must come from this book. Must do. If not, they're violators of this book, and they're working in necromancy. They're working in the land of the dead. They're monsters. And we, as a people, we're going to rise. We are rising, and there's nothing they can do about it. That is why they're trying to kick us in so hard right now. They know that that we're all getting it, that we all understand what's going on, and long may it continue. Jesus wasn't quite in the temple. Jesus was the temple. People in a great group I'm in on WhatsApp called Kent Group. Loads and loads of people now really come together, and beautiful souls from all around Kent. They said, I said, we need to start a new church. And they said, yeah, that's fantastic, but where do we start? I said, you start with you. The church is you. It's not external. Everything's internal. If you ever want to find the answers to anything that you've got going on in your life, it's all internal. It's not external. If you've got problems going on with a relationship, etc., whatever you've got going on, you feel insecure. We all tend to seem to think that we've got to go and see a counsellor. We've got to go and do this. We've got to go and do that. No, you haven't. The only way you can fix yourself is to go inside. Now, that could be dietary as well. You've got illness, clean up your temple. If you've got a goldfish in a bowl and a goldfish is swimming around in clean water, and you start throwing fags in there and bottles of wine and pizzas, that all of a sudden that fish is going to be upside down, and all of a sudden you throw a few pills at it and the fish takes the pills. All of a sudden the fish feels better for a bit, and all of a sudden it's back upside down because you keep pouring more wine and all that other stuff in it. The only option you have for that fish, if that fish is to survive, is to change the water, change the environment, give it clean water again. Good chance of surviving. That's what it is. So you have to go inside. Now, I've found over all the years of speaking to people and chatting with this and that, the only way I can try and fix myself is through this, because you'll find that when you read it, you'll get the answers. They'll pop out at you, and you'll go, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of me," because this is written about you. The whole book is written about you, for you. Queen is an imposter related to Vlad the Impaler. I'm not arguing with that. You are the temple, Zebi Zircon. Love it to see you, bruv. She was coronated with the St. Edward's Catholic crown, not the imperial crown. Wake up. Yeah, probably. Morning, Dave. Quick question. If we have the ecclesiastical deed poll, could that prevent from taking a newborn? Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. Absolutely big time. Yeah, absolutely big time. If you've got your ecclesiastical deed poll and your evidence of life 206, and you've got that in, they can't come and touch you, because don't forget the SKV says he who lives, and it says that you're treated as abandoned, lost, dead at sea, and they're administrating. All right, but once you've done the deed poll and you've done the evidence of life, the presumption's gone. They can't administrate no more. I mean no disrespect to anyone here. Love to you, but even as a child, I questioned a waving flag. Yes, absolutely. I've never really waved the flag, to be honest with you. I don't think I ever have. No, don't think I ever have waved the flag, to be fair. Your baby will be under a allodial title. Yeah. Allodial title, by the way, is this. This is your allodial title. This is your allodium. Trust me, it's very powerful. Very powerful. Every courtroom in the land has got one of these. And they say, put your hand on it and swear on it. Very dangerous thing to do. Never swear on this Bible. Why? Because it says, never put thy God to the test. Never ever test God. But what God reveals to you through this is that you can't fight your own battles, because Ephesians says that, you must put on the breastplate of righteousness, and that you're not fighting with flesh and blood. This is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual war, and you're wrestling with the darkness. You can't see it. So what this is if you pick pieces out of this and you use this with all of your heart, you will find that all these others will just disappear, because they have to respect the word of God. They can't go against that stuff. So yeah, it's unbelievable. Merry Christmas, God bless. Yes, it's Christmas Eve. Nice to see you, Elaine Clark. How are you, darling? She's taken the knee. Bless you. Nice to see you, Princess. Hope you're having a lovely, gonna have a lovely day tomorrow, and just be blessed with your family and stuff. But trust me, next year we are going to be walking a path now where we're all coming out of the land of Egypt, the land of bondage. We are in biblical times, for sure. We are with what goes on. Without the vine, we are nothing. Absolutely right. Came on. Everyone will be registered under common law soon. You can also register a fetus under common law if there is a fear that baby will be taken at birth. Yeah, just God give you your children. It talks you all about that in here, how to bring your children up. And I failed many years ago. If I'd have read this and kept this close to me all my life, I certainly wouldn't be in a position now in this life. I think I'd be in a different position. I would. And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when you are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilences among you, and you shall be delivered into the hands of the enemy. This is from Leviticus. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake you bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and you shall eat and not suffer and not be satisfied. This book is just, it's just God's sake. I mean, you just read it, and it just pumps you full of fantasticness. And again, he sent us unto them another servant, and at him they cast stories and wounded him in the head and sent him away shamefully handed. This is from the book of Mark. Having yet therefore one son, his well beloved, he sent him also lasting unto them, saying, they will reverence my son. It's just, I tell you, it's just a fantastic book. It really, and verily I say unto you, that whoever shall say unto the mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the seas, and shall not doubt in his heart. You have to live in your heart space. You have to live in your heart, people. You can't live anywhere else. And the devil will come, and the devil can only control your mind. But once everything flows from your heart, different story. I've had some trials and tribulations over the years, but in essence, I always end up coming back to my heart space. My head might, get a little bit fuzzy at times, especially when there's policemen sat in your lounge or whatever, But that fear is I'm just losing that fear all the time. And maybe I've got to go through this path in my life to get to where I'm going, God sent his best disciples the hardest tasks. He did. Research, flag. But once you realize what the flesh is and what the soul is, the flesh don't really mean too much. I'm good, thanks. We are all doing a bell ring at 6 o'clock in Scotland on the streets. Go for it. Research flag dimensions as another rabbit hole is a piece of the puzzle. Only the dead are registered. Yes, still. Absolutely right. The ecclesiastical deed, is it like setting up a trust? No, all it's doing is you're fulfilling the requirements of the system. The system deems you to be dead, lost at sea, and it is administrating your estate thereof. However, once you've proved by them two things that you are no longer dead, lost at sea, the ecclesiastical deed poll is the correction within the trust, and the evidence of life is the actual evidence of life. And once you've placed that on the record, different story. But I won't tell you actually how to go and do that yet. I'm just saying to you, get these bits, fill them out, find yourself a doctor or a solicitor, and then I will go through these things with how to push it on the record. I'll go through that with you privately. All right. Heart has brain cells. Yeah, of course it does. The whole thing's connected. The whole thing's connected. But what we find is that our brains and what our eyes see tend to it's our reality, but in fact it's not really a reality. It's just not. The world we live in is not as we think it is. It's really not. Dead lost beyond the sea, then into trust. Yeah. Once you've done the ecclesiastical deed poll and the evidence of life, I've got friends that have done it, and one of them, bless his heart, is on here as we speak. And that's it. The systems, it just leaves you alone. It has to, because you fulfilled the requirements of what it requires. Now, a friend of mine I was chatting to yesterday told me that the system actually about 5 years ago brought out one of their acts of parliament saying that even if you prove that you're alive, you're still to be treated as if you're dead. But I would question that and say that not to be the case from the testimonies of a couple of friends that I've got and speak to on a regular basis. So I'm not sure. Who knows? Anyway, we have to walk in faith, don't we? We have to keep striving forward. But we're seeing now the system is just so ugly. Look, Christmas is being ruined, but it's only being ruined if you allow it to be ruined. If you're doing the ecclesiastical deed poll, do your research on oneheaven.org website. These documents are very powerful, and you need to understand how you control your life and to be free of their legal bullshit. And for me, if ever we got this country back for the people, by the people, the first thing that we would do is end the legal system, finish it, and bring it back to lawful. I pray I'll meet you in the new year so I can give you a big hug. Well, I'll give you a big hug back, Agape. 100. Yes, I love hugs. You know, I'm a hugger. I am a hugger. When I've had a couple of beers, I don't mind a little kiss on the lips either, because you're just spreading the love, man. Spreading the love. But you best not be kissing anyone on the lips right now. What? You'll be on this advert on the telly. Yesterday, I was watching it. My missus was watching it. It says open the windows to release COVID particles. I'm like, we've got COVID particles now. Release the COVID particles. What the hell is that all about? I imagine people at home saying, "Husband, stop breathing. You're releasing COVID particles. What are you doing, man?" I just don't get it. That's why my terms and conditions are bought in. 100 trillion backed by gold. Bosh. I have heard, little bugger. How you doing, Jesus Jones? You doing all right? Christmas was ruined on purpose by the communists. Yeah. Control of the mind is everything. To have control of it and don't let all these wicked, evil thoughts enter, because that's the only way that the dark one can take hold of you, is when these thoughts enter. Because you've all sat there, haven't you, and you've had thoughts of this and that, and it's all from the dark side. But once you realize and you come into this and you learn how to control your mind, I'm not saying I have it perfectly down. I don't think any man or woman does. But we just have to strive forward. We have to come back into the world of the living. Absolutely. I have had hugs every day, Dave. Bless your heart. I give all my residents a hug. They miss hugs from family. Look, I'll never forget the story of when Jesus went in to heal the leper. Right, everyone was like standing around. They was all going, "Watch out, son, he's got bits falling off his body," and all sorts, because that's what happens with lepers. But Jesus just went straight in there, not a care in the world. Couldn't care for his own safety. Why? Because he was protected. And he just went, bosh, 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 there you go, no more leprosy. And everyone stood round in amazement because Jesus stepped up to the plate. And you have to step up to the plate. If you're going to live in fear, Jesus had no fear in him. He never, ever had any fear in him at all. He just went, right, you've got leprosy, bosh, let's sort it out. And that's the power and the spirit that you have to walk with. You know, if you walk in fear for one element, of there's COVID particles out there, I can't see my family, you've let the dark side take you over. And so what if you catch something? So what if you die? So what? Because the minute that you let that enter your head and then you're living in fear, that's restricting you. Bob's your uncle. Dave, the Bible says you have 70, that's 70 years. Does the system own you after that? No, actually. Once you get past 70, the system pretty much has to relent, because it has control of you after the age of 7 and up to the age of 70. That's a given fact, but they won't tell you about that. 100% you must push fear away. They thrive on fear. Everyone's in so much fear. There's a guy yesterday locally in a group on Facebook in my local village, and he called me grasshopper because I said to him, look, you shouldn't be having digs at people for not wearing masks. And rather than me react, I just said to him, listen, I want to send you all my love to all your friends and family over this Christmas. I hope you have just fantastic times. All right? Just send them love. Just send them everything that they're missing in their life. Most people that are having a dig at you, they're bitter, they're eaten up. They've not got that that vision in them. They've not got that spirit in them. Just send them loads of love, people. Just send them as much love as you can, and you'll just humble them. They go, oh man, yeah. But don't get involved in all the fighting and the bickering. It's pointless. Just get under the mistletoe, enjoy hugs and pecks on the cheeks. Bosh, yes, I'm loving that. Your heart is a scanner. You have to feel your way with the heart. Feel the force. Don't think it. Absolutely right, brother. Auntie Mandy says you 100% must push fear away. They thrive on your fear. Look at this dog. It should be in a circus. Look at it. Look. Excuse me. Hey, come get that. Get down. Get down. Oh, if it owns the place. Owns the place, it does. The good, evil. There's good, evil in all. What's the path we do? We define who we are. Yes, we do. Yes, Paul, you're right. Thanks, Jesus. Yes, Jesus. Oh, Jesus as in Jesus Jones. Yeah, God bless you. Caroline, Georgina. Hello, Princess. Thanks for tuning in. Did anyone listen to Tony Blair on what he thinks government should be doing? This is the same man who caught by police, gave the wrong name, but he wants everyone's health and personal details. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He got caught having a little bit of in a gentleman's toilet. He did. None of these people have the right to tell us what to do. People, we're just sheep owned by pigs, run by wolves, and that's how this world is. And no man owns another, not one at all. But when it comes to their dead, fictional, lifeless system of Mr. and Mrs. and all that, of course they own it. They created it. You can't tell someone what to do who created something. And don't forget, when you own something, it means that you can destroy it. It means that you can smash it up, burn it, smash it up, do whatever you like with it. So when they own the Mr. and the Mrs. and people say, oh, they bashed me over the head, they can do, because they can destroy it. They can nurture it, they can destroy it. And they're at the point now where they're looking to destroy it and doing a good job, might I say. So that's where we're at, people. We're at 32 minutes. I want to thank you all for joining in this morning. Please do look into getting your evidence of life forms 206 and your ecclesiastical deed polls. If you want evidence of that, you'll have to go back to the beginning of this video where you'll find that I've just given you the evidence, and you'll find the forms online. You know, you've got to go and do your own little Google searches. Zevi Zircon might even put them links up for you in the chat box as we speak. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Spread love. Just get involved in love. Don't get involved in the fear. Keep your vibrations high. Have a few beers. Do whatever you want to do. Have a little tickle. Get your tickling sticks out. Stay high vibrational. Do not get involved in the mercenary stuff that this system wants you to do. They are trying to take our soul and spirit, and we are magnetic beings, people. We get things from hugging people. We get people from feeling people's energies. We get feelings from doing nice things for people. But when we're living in an evil world where we can't do nice things for each other and we can't hug each other, we're not getting that loving energy that our species does promote around each other when we do such great things. I've had some great days up there in London with Zevi Zircon and Kevin Blackburn and Jamie Freeman and Lauren and all the others, just hugging it out and having a few beers. And I'll never forget them days. I'll never ever will forget the amount of energy that we had in them buildings at that day, because we really lifted the roofs off. We had some fantastic energy. And I want you to keep your spirits high. I want you to stay in that Jesus Christ energy, because Jesus kills all the dark side. Rather like me, drunk, I always tilt to the wrong side. Yes, Jesus Jones. God bless you. Hide your prep in the loft. They can take your food according to the coronavirus bill. God, who's running this country? The Nazis? Achtung bitte. I can't stand it. The police have turned into the Wehrmacht, haven't they? Spitzens and get out of here. But don't forget, they can only deal in the dead. They can't deal with the living man or the living woman. So these two things bring you back into that, don't they? The ecclesiastical deed poll and the evidence of life. I will be showing you how to get that done. And make that your New Year's resolution, to bring yourself out of Egypt, to bring yourself back into the land of living, and many blessings be upon you. I love you all. God bless you. Remember, it's Jesus' birthday tomorrow, apparently, but it's not really, because he wasn't really born on Christmas Day. But you'd have to read the scriptures to find that out for yourself. The bleeding Nazis are back. Laugh at them. Yeah, I do. Fuck them. They can kiss my arse cheeks. I'd probably fart in their general direction. I'll see you all soon. 2021 is going to be fantastic, people, because as much as the dark is doing what it's doing, we are bringers of light. Come into the light. I love you all. I'll see you soon.